Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hey. So yeah, we're here again. It's been 3 weeks, I think, and obviously lots of stuff going on in the world. So I figured it'd be good to get together and have a have a little chat again. Let's do quick introductions. We've got Tom Outhouse, writer of the Immortal screenplay, which was stolen and turned into The Matrix 1, 2, and 3. And then we've got Elizabeth Dove, Lizzie, known as Madam Punisher on Twitter, an extreme researcher, writer, truth seeker. Just amazing to have you on the show as well. And we've got myself, a Medicare broker here in Arizona. Happy to help anybody with any of their Medicare needs. Just reach out at Real Joe Roselle on Twitter or set a comment in the YouTube and Rumble links. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and get started, I guess.
Mm.
Um, wow. So, what to cover first? I guess the day of jihad that never happened. that
Yeah, yeah,
was kind of,
yeah.
that had everybody a little worried. I know. I was working a retail store and I was kind of watching the door the whole time, but it's I think I was in less danger here in Arizona because there's so many concealed carry people, But it
Mhm.
turned out to be kind of a dud the whole nationwide anyway.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah, except for a few crazy drivers, it was pretty quiet here.
yeah,
Yep.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Same
yeah,
in Houston. Not nothing. It's like the real power resides in the US and England, and they're the ones that are actually controlling the show. It's the Russians and the Chinese that are complaining, and really, the US and England have a stranglehold on the world ever since World War II, and they've never let go. And that was the whole plan with the agencies. So I think the real terror is going to come from inside our very walls, um, from our own agencies. So that's something to be mindful of.
yeah. That's
Well,
Go ahead.
go ahead, Joe.
Oh no, I just with Biden making the switch now and wanting to build the wall and everything, as much as we need protection at the southern border, it also stops us from leaving on the same end, and that's
That's
a
it.
kind of a scary thought.
That is it. Think of those institutions that were reconstituted under President Bush, where they did the Museum Act, used it to refurbish concentration camps, holding facilities that were used during World War II to house Japanese Americans.
Mhm.
And the barbed wire fences point in is to contain people. That's for U.S. citizens. What they did was they didn't refurbish it as a museum item. They refurbished them, modernized them with modern equipment, everything else. They had the trains with the red lines, the red zones, the brick buildings, execution areas. That was all done. And so it was a plan to get rid of U.S. citizens, and that still is in place as a X final solution. Thank you, Elon Musk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
There's a lot.
I was gonna say I think when in regards to this last Friday and whatnot and all the propaganda and the news sitting there going, we're gonna go through jihad and all this. I think the real terrorist is the fear that our own governments and our own media put us through. Um, how many messages did I get saying, should I really be worried?
Right.
Um, and I'm sitting there going, take precautions, but go about your day.
Yeah.
Act like it was a normal day. And
Exactly.
and and really, that is the ultimate, basically FU we could possibly do to the government, is to not conform to that fear.
We are,
You know,
yeah, you're
it's the
right.
ultimate act of rebellion right there. It's just go about your day.
Main plan is divide and conquer, isolate, alienate their very own. That's what Hitler did in World War II. Hitler was funded, we know, by U.S. and England. There were eugenics programs strong and flourishing first in this country and England first. Hitler was put in place, and we were the ones that funded him. And now we find out through Hunting Hitler, the series that's out right now. If anybody looks on YouTube or Netflix, you'll see Hunting Hitler on YouTube. And it's all about the CIA now releasing documents that, yeah, they got Hitler out. Hitler went to Berchtesgaden. He had his SS hit there. In fact, Eisenhower diverted the U.S. troops towards Berchtesgaden because they knew that that's where he was going. There's no way Hitler was going to have himself killed in Berlin like an idiot. He went up to where he was all planned with the tunnel systems and everything. His SS top elite, everybody went there. Then they channeled through Rome, and now we have the CIA documents showing us just as the screenplay shows, that they were channeled through the Vatican and Red Cross. The Vatican gave them absolutions for a church. The records, the books are there, right there. It's in the series Hunting Hitler, which is done by the CIA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Red Cross the Red Cross were given the papers to the Nazis, the head top Nazis, including the Angel of Death, and they one concentration camp guy and Hitler himself. And they are absolved in a ceremony, rebaptized, given new names, and the Red Cross gave them the documentation. It was done by the blessing of the CIA, FBI, and Pentagon. And Nazis still exist. It's the USA.
I find it like really odd that the History Channel would even do that series.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too.
I was seeing a meme about it, and it's like, yeah, every 20 years we release documents that's like, we did it. What are you going to do about it? Like,
that's right.
Like,
our own government say, we screwed you. We'll screw you again. We don't value you. Do you love your citizenry if you keep everything from them, including the most monstrous thing in history? They had concentration camps in Germany. Hitler was allowed to do it, and the CIA and FBI have allowed it, and now they're reconstituting concentration camps in the USA.
Tom, I think you really hit on something, and that is, do you really love your country? Well, do you respect them if you treat them this way? Do you respect the citizenry, or do you treat them like dirt? To keep all these things hidden, to do all these monstrous acts without them knowing about it, and then to feed them this lie that, hey, we're all that great, we're all that virtuous and righteous and all this other stuff, only to have every 20 years all these documents come out that prove, well, maybe we weren't so virtuous, maybe we weren't so righteous.
We're the worst on the planet. We're the worst on the planet. We are the bullies on the block, and we are. Then you have this. You have this stupid thing called Sound of Freedom, where it's supposed to be, well, it does some good. That's what they said about Hitler. He did some good. Audubon and everything. Pat Robertson, religious right. He did some good, is what they say. The Sound of Freedom, what they do is failed studios, Angel Studios, working with the FBI and CIA to make it look like that the child trafficking doesn't happen in this country, that it's happening elsewhere. And then they have this stupid thing in it where the FEMA guy goes something like, we can't cross the borders to help. Can't cross the border. Yeah, you're on there in Ukraine, FBI. You're not supposed to be on foreign soil, CIA, FBI, Pentagon. You are doing things everywhere, including in Cuba, doing that thing that was the Indian cricket episode in the U.S. and Canadian embassies, doing it to your own there for plausible deniability. You have been everywhere doing it, but you can't go to rescue the kids. Biggest child traffickers, U.S. government.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all those kids from Maui still missing, and it just seems to slip everybody's mind now. It's like, no, those kids are still gone. We need to do something about this, but no one wants to put any time in or work in to find all these missing kids from our own country.
Lay that out further, Joe. What's going on with Maui? What they do? They passed that resolution that the zoning laws would change, we said, in Lahaina, and specifically in historic districts. Am I upset? You bet I'm pissed. I'm pissed at the bozos that run this country. Yeah.
Maui's not the only one, because we've been looking at this and we're seeing pockets of missing kids missing all of a sudden in a very short amount of time, in a few weeks, right? So a few weeks ago, or was it 2 months ago, we had Ohio. A few weeks prior to that, it was Ohio again, same area. And now a few weeks ago, we're seeing Virginia. So, and then you mix in Maui and all that, and it's just like you've got pockets of kids all around the same ages, like a vast number of them just going bye-bye, and nobody knows where they're at, and they're all listed as runaways.
Does it make sense that the ones that do the major sex trafficking and child trafficking is this country and England? And what's going on right now would be they're getting their stock fulfilled, and they're doing it in mass, getting ready for a reset, whereas even Elon Musk is putting it in our face as a fake savior, going with the big X, which is a final solution, where they're going to reset the world where the elite have it on a sustainable planet where only they get to thrive, and they have a servitude class based on children that will do whatever they want. And right now the Great Reset is going, and it's actually in the original work. Yeah, we are right there now where they want to pull the switch, but they've advanced their schedule. My sources tell me I was groomed to lead in the cabal. Now they're using that on me, saying Tom's evil. Don't work with Tom. He's evil because he was groomed by the cabal. Yes, I was groomed by the cabal. I said no. I said, let's work for, every time they put the chair out to me, they said, don't try to make a difference. I said, I'm going to. So I'm the
Yeah.
worst traitor to the cabal. Yet they're using this thing now where Tom's evil. He's programmed by the cabal. That doesn't make us evil. That's like
Yeah.
seeing the dwarf in Game of Thrones was evil. No, he did. The Lannister kid did good things. You know, he did good things. He tried to work with the others to make a better world. That's what we're doing. But these kids disappearing. I know what's going on. I'm being told what's going on. The reset, they're accelerating the program. So they're not on the one they wanted. The timeline's changed. We have changed the timeline
So
by
it's
being
not,
a
it's not
disruption.
Agenda 2030 anymore. They've moved that up now. Okay.
Accelerated. Yes, they've accelerated because they don't know how to stop this information flow coming out. Their biggest concern, it's even the Zionist manifesto, is someone like people with even an individual with an intellectual property that would influence the world. They're afraid of the influence we have right now. They will shadow ban your channel like crazy, and they'll try to make it like, you know, no one's watching. There was a meme on that actually Elon Musk made the other night at 2:10 in the morning. At 2:10 in the morning, guys. And when you make a meme at 2:10 in the morning, you're somebody who's somebody notoriety, has notoriety, then you're rattled. You're upset. That's really bothering. You can't sleep. You're gonna go ahead and make it. What is it about? It's about the what is it? The Neuralink, and it has a chip going in this gray skull, right? And he's complaining, saying, how can I be the bad one when I'm the one doing the Neuralink? Why would I be creating this thing that says Elon Musk is evil and putting in the Neuralink when I'm the one creating the Neuralink? I'm like, that's not the chip you're putting in. The chip you're putting in is Elon Musk is our savior. Elon Musk is God. That's what you're putting in the chip. It's not the other way around. Don't try to play it both ways. But he is rattled from the interview I did the night before, where I was saying very much about Elon Musk and what he was planning, how he took the work, and he was given it by Warner Brothers, and Kate Chilton's on the run. He reacted at 2:10 in the morning directly to me, I'm told, by the inside and the hosts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got them on the run. Go ahead.
And I actually discovered, I know I shared it with Lizzie. I'm not sure if I sent it to you as well, but there's apparently already Neuralink enhanced humans that believe they're in an army doing good against the NWO. They are posting on Twitter, like rallying people to get the Neuralink implanted so they can be superhumans. And the idea is that they're the ones that are fighting the NWO. So
see, that's
but see, we don't really know if that's true or not. I mean, like, there's so much propaganda around everything.
Yeah, true.
You know,
you're right. I think it actually is a feed forward to try to make it look like they're in power, to empower their constituency, rally behind them. They're making false claims, I believe, Joe. I think they're making false claims.
That could be. That's actually reassuring.
Yeah, because they're trying to accelerate the program. They got to show some power behind it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what they do is they make this false claim and seed the idea and get you to accept it first before it actually happens.
That's right. How do we know it? How do we know that? Go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
Good. No, just get people excited about being a superhuman once you get these chip implants.
So. Exactly. Go fight the New World Order. You know, it's like what is it? The Starship Troopers, just trying to fight some bugs, sir. You know?
Yes, and you know what's so crazy is they said that they put us in our own screenplay, right? Hold it up again. They hate when I do. That's why I do it. Look at that seal on there, which Sophia Stewart's now trying to say is forged. Okay, great. So in this screenplay, you have the architect's son claiming that he's going to stop the New World Order and make it fair, employing Neo to be involved in that, which I'm getting offers all the time right now, Thomas A. And so what happens is it's false. It's not true. It is not true. But they're trying to make it look like they're the ones that are going to usher in a better world to fight the New World Order. They're not. They're going to they're trying to play us, and we're too smart for them. We wrote the frickin' book.
It's a rug pull. It's a rug pull. Yeah. But you know, they do that a lot, and we see that because we see the predictive programming in movies and whatnot to get you to accept this idea. It all feeds into each other. I did want to say I understand your feelings on Sound of Freedom. I get it. I know.
When I watch those guys talking, I'm gonna.
I know.
Trying to suck it up for themselves in their stories. But go ahead.
They did mainstream the idea that these children are trafficked, and I heard that they're making a second one.
Oh God. They were allowed to. They were allowed to by the FBI and CIA, where they are blocking the others of us that wanted to make it. We wanted to do the true thing. They blocked us and go, look, here's the guys that stars. That's the thing. They were given. They were pushed in front of line And then they're supposed to make it look like they're the ones that made it all happen. And of
Well,
course, they're going to make a second one to make it look like they're the ones that are making everything free. So we look to them. It's very scary. It's all
so
part of the agenda. Yeah.
do you know where the second one's going to be like taking place, quote unquote?
Well, they just did a thing on which is mainstream. They just did a big announcement on, I think it was either YouTube or Netflix or something, where they're announcing they're doing their trailer right out there in front of us, which means you get pushed to the front of the line if you're part of the cabal. And that's going to be about life after death. Great. Now they're going to try to own that corner from Angel Studios.
Oh
So it's like,
gosh.
yeah, they're going to control all narrative. We're supposed to fall in line with these guys. It's like being chipped. So the Angel
Well,
Studios are bastards.
so the second movie that they're making for Sound of Freedom is supposed to be out of Haiti.
Oh God, what about the US? What about the US? See how it's being cleansed out? You see that?
I know, and we're
Forget
the
Haiti.
largest.
Haiti's not even a chip in the bucket. It's
Well, but
US,
it,
Pentagon, Ukraine, you name it. Yeah, go ahead.
if they do it right, if they do it right, it will show
If they do it right.
the Clinton ties into it, which is the U.S.
But they're cleansing it all out, and then they're trying to make it like there's nothing else to see here, nothing else to see here. They're not going to show us like Snowden. What did Snowden do? Snowden told us butt kiss. He told us, well, after the fact, that your phones are being tapped, and he's always groomed, the music playing soft like Elon Musk. He is not telling us anything, but they're helping to stop others from paying attention to what's really going on from those of us that actually suffered. If Snowden had actually suffered, he would look ragged. He would sound like I do. He's not going to, not that's, he's made a celebrity by the mainstream media.
From what I understand, the Snowden files and the Assange files, the WikiLeaks and all that was stopped. There's a whole cache of information that hasn't been released to us in the public that was supposed to
Snowden
be.
would talk about it though, Lizzie. Snowden would say it on the air when he has his little airtime. Do you think they would hold me back from speaking?
Well,
if I had
yeah.
a cache of information that wasn't shared, and I get on the air with all the makeup and groomed and everything else and all the money behind me and all those cutaway shots that anybody edits knows how expensive they are, do you think I would not talk about what's not being revealed? I'm speaking all the time, aren't I? Right?
Now I'm going to have to go back and watch and see if he tried to slip it.
He won't slip it. There's no way. Am I doing this to you? Giving you signs, or am I telling you straight out what's going on?
Yeah, you're telling him.
Do I need to go like this?
Okay.
No, it's not. That's what's going on.
Morse code. Lincoln Morse code.
Yeah. No, Snowden is a fake. Elon Musk is a fake. The Angel Studios are a sellout garbage crew who works for the CIA. Once we get that anchored in and realize they've lost their power and the real people can start to surface. When we win this stuff, we're going to make studios where the real stories can be made. Watch how many people flock forward.
Mm-hmm.
They have to shut down because they're afraid of influence. And they hate me talking about this. Does it make sense? Yeah. That's what's going on. The Sound of Freedom is a disease. It has not helped us. It's not released anything. It made it worse for the children. There are children waiting to be saved. And that makes it look like what I warned, that a few kids are being saved. And it's going to make it look like it's all taken care of. Just wait on us. We'll take care of it while they're herding us to the concentration camps. Don't believe their crap.
It's interesting because you and I take a separate stance on that because we see things from a different perspective.
I have these people contact me all the time. They're telling what's going on from the inside because they actually want us to win, which is actually in the screenplay. We've got the people on the insides that are afraid to switch sides, that are hoping that if you succeed, we'll join you. And they're giving me all the information, what's going on and who's what and who's what.
I love that. If you succeed, we will join you. Why don't you join us now and help us succeed?
Here's their work. You know the reasoning? My family, my jobs, we'll lose everything. My kids' college education. That's the same thing with the military. When they said the military is secretly doing these tribunals, no. They would release that stuff. And I get, but they come at me hard on this one too. They want to believe it. They want to believe that it's already done. If it was already done, would Trump be prosecuted right now? Would there be all this other stuff going on? Not that Trump's the good guy, but would it be done right now? Would these things be going on with these raids and everything if there was tribunals and there's resets? No.
Yeah.
It would happen after the fact. The tribunals happen after you win. And I want to be there at those tribunals when we win. And there are
And we,
some that claim to be the good guys, like the Angel Studio guys, that I want to see at those tribunals on the
you know,
prosecutor side.
and I think out of all of this, if there's anything that you take away from this 40 minutes, if you are on the fence, if you're sitting there and you're going, I will join you after we win, it's too late by then.
Yes.
We need you now. You want to win, you want to win faster, do something. Do something. Get active, get local. Join us. I mean, like, seriously.
Well
You
said,
want
Liz.
this you want this nightmare to end. You want it all to end, right? You want it to be gone tomorrow. Then you get off your couch, you get out from behind your computer, you go to some meetings, you start making phone calls, you start getting active, you start doing research, you start drawing this stuff out. Because once we start doing that, then we can actually do something about it. Then we can start actually coming up with a plan and taking steps to end this whole thing. And it
Exactly.
accelerates it faster. So, I mean, like, people who are sitting there on their couch and going, well, I'll join you after we win. That really pisses me off, because what you're saying is you would rather sit there and drag it out
No, and you also do it.
and slow walk it.
You got it.
And
Well,
for anybody
people like
listening,
me, yeah,
anybody listen. Oh, sorry. I was just saying, anyone listening, find one of the rabbit holes that you don't see everybody going down, because there's so many rabbit holes. Nobody's going to be able to do all the research themselves. Find something to research and dig into it, and then add that to the movement. You know, do threads. You know, like Lizzie does and Pun does, and you know, a lot of the people do. Just dive into your own research and find something out and add it to the movement.
And I would
okay,
add this too. Go ahead. Go ahead, Lizzie.
I would say, he's absolutely right. And if you don't know what to research, come to me. I've got more research than I have time to write about.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. I have more research than I have to compile together, put it out there for the public. And like one of them that we just did yesterday, like it was about the money laundering and the border. Like, we went through and dug into one of these companies that moves undocumented children around. The CEO's getting like $700,000 a year.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
From government contracts.
Yep, that's right. It's all being sanctioned. It's all being contracted. And it's like, if you have evidence, bring it forward. If you do not have evidence, shut your mouths out there. Because the people that are contacting and don't have evidence, that's butt kiss. We don't want to hear your stories of how you fell off an aircraft carrier and how you're actually related to JFK. No, we want to see the evidence that's going to make a difference to free the kids and make a difference and reveal these clowns, such as the ones doing the work with the CIA and FBI. They groom you, they post you, they put you out there, and they laugh. And it's time to actually see who the real people are and bring them forward.
And if you want to see what that research looked like, go look at 17 Special Operations Group and go look at Bearskin, because Bearskin did a thread and 17th SOG did a meme, basically a picture showing how it looks like. Like, go look at their stuff, because we did the research together. It's there. I mean, this was a group project. Go look. They put it out. They put it together. They did an amazing job. We're trying to get this information out there because there's just so much. There is so much we can't even keep up.
And that's the thing. We had the entertainment industry was one of the ways we could actually get information out in the past. It was one of those things that actors and actresses could actually make a difference. And now they're shutting down the ability to use art to get the word out. Now it's coming down to legal systems. We still have the chance for lawyers to do the right thing. We can win this battle by presenting due process evidence. If you're an attorney who actually wants to make a difference in the world, to be remembered for it, that's important to your legacy, then come forward and help us finish this job, because that's the window we have left now, is the legal arena. They haven't shut it down completely yet. They have channeled cases they want the way they want them and shut it down that way, but we still have the avenue. If we have a televised public trials, then we can make this happen. That'll lead to the tribunals in the future. See, everything public. And if you're claiming that you rescued kids, Sound of Freedom, then show them. Show the kids you rescued. Show them. Stop making up garbage and stories about 3,000 kids rescued. You haven't done crap. Show the stories. Stop these stupid hosts like Madison, ex-stripper. Yeah, I'm calling you out. that gets on the program is some Laura Croft single mom that says she straps on guns and goes to the tunnels and extracts one kid at a time and gets donations for it. You haven't rescued anybody. You couldn't get in those tunnels. I've seen the tunnels. You can't get in. The security's too tight, especially for a housewife claiming to be some hero. Stop the stolen glory. And let's actually get the kids rescued. I'm tired of the stories where they claim they did it and they haven't. That's the same thing Sound of Freedom did. They hadn't. And pointing the direction to other countries means all these kids, the majority that are suffering in this country, including the Maui kids, are being abandoned. So people can get laurels and get laid, like the directors. You watch them when they're talking. They're going like this. Yeah, and I had to decide whether to turn to that Mexican kid, that one Mexican kid in California. Right, loser. Right, sure, guy. And I decided with courage I'd go there and rescue him. And then I was going to rescue his sister. Bullshit. You did not. You're trying to get laid. You did not do it. You did not. It's going to come out. He didn't do it. He made it up. There are tons of kids that are stuck in this country with that asshole claiming he rescued kids wanting to get laid. I know what's going on behind the scenes. He didn't do it. It's a false story. Watch how they act. Watch. We as humans can tell if a person's lying when they're going like this. And so I did that. And I did. What he should be saying is there's tons of kids that still have to be rescued. We need to get out there. We'll do it at Sound of Freedom. We did this. We're going to help others too. Let's get all kinds of people creating work to get this word out. There's so much more that needs to be done. And kids in this country are being taken by the agencies. Oops. You think he's going to say that? No, he won't get laid. That's
one of the
really
biggest
down to these guys.
traffickers in this country is CPS, and I hear so many stories about this.
Yes.
And I mean, like, I hear so many stories and people coming out and they're like, I have 70 pages of documents and proving this, and I'm trying to take them to court and this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
and
they get away with murder. They get away with murder. They did it to me. They're part when the SWAT team shows up for me, the CPS is with them. They now have brought them together. In Warrington Township, they built this brand new facility, multi-million-dollar facility, most expensive in Warrington Township for the police. So the FBI has a room there also. It's like a hotel's with it. And the child services can be there at the same time. They rubber stamp you away on a 302. The parents are sent on a 302 because they had intellectual property that was a threat to the influence of the Zionist nation. So it's like, that's how it comes down to it. And so they 302 the parents and CPS the kids. At the same time, one stroke, done with a SWAT team hauling you off. With a neighbor, some kind of criminal.
And it's not just in this country, because I hear stories up in Canada and everywhere else. And
Canada's
it's just
part
like
of the U.S. according to the agencies. Yeah.
they don't like you, they don't like your political position, or they don't like the color of your skin or whatever. Boom, your kids are gone.
What did the Gestapo do? And now they perfected the Gestapo. We took on Gestapo agents. We took them on. What did Pat Robertson do? Pat Robertson's organization, Schonoff, Schlosser, Elser, Soba, all Nazis. Some didn't have their green card. Family didn't have the green cards from Hitler Youth and such. That was his top people at Liberty or Regent University. Pat Robertson's organization. The son of a senator. Yeah,
we seem to have modeled our own police model after the Gestapo. We very little training. It's a lot of the kids that were picked on in high school and they want to get back. It's just, they very little pay but a lot of power, and it's kind
Joe,
of exactly after the Gestapo.
What else did they do, Joe? What else did they do? What did Nazis do near the end of the war? They recruited other countries into the SS, other nationals into the SS. That's exactly what we're doing in this country right now. We're recruiting other nationals. So India and stuff like this are becoming attorneys under the Bill Gates Foundation, funding them. In our situation, this guy, Vikram Sohal, one of the worst people on the planet, he was brought in from India and funded by the Bill Gates Foundation to be an attorney in Hollywood to destroy intellectual property cases and help child trafficking. Vikram Sohal. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
This last couple of weeks, I've been doing quite a few spaces on X, formerly Twitter, with whistleblowers and people who are finally coming forward about this stuff. And, it's just absolutely been heartbreaking. I think I've done 5 so far in the last 2-3 weeks. And I am sitting here and I am crushed. And I'm talking about everybody who used to work for the agencies to people who are actually trafficked.
And that's the thing. You're doing that. Could I get on your programs? I couldn't get on. They wouldn't let me on. Why would they
Really?
let me on? I was trying to get on a program, and they were saying, Tom's going to come on now. Tom's going to come on. Mic shut down, computer shut down, power shut, everything shut down. I couldn't get on. I got back up, couldn't get on. They wouldn't get me on. I couldn't get on. They wouldn't let me on.
Are
I
you
mean, not the program
serious?
one. The program wanted me on, but the agencies blocked me from getting on.
So, sorry about that.
We-
There you go.
There's
Yeah.
been something weird. I don't know what.
That's what they
Yeah.
just did was they're letting us know they're concerned about what we're talking about.
Yeah.
See,
So
that's what they're reacting to.
we were having Bible studies on X Sunday nights. Well, he got suspended and whatnot, and then like getting him back on has just been a nightmare. Absolutely a nightmare. You know, he can't join spaces. Like it is literally just this whole thing, and we're like, what in the world's going on?
Look what happened to
You
Q
know,
Group. What happened to Q Group just now? The Q Group. What happened
yeah.
to it? FBI has infiltrated that so deeply. And so I just got turned on a guy named Marcus, who was the guy who was doing our documentary. He got bought off, got on a trip to take this trip, made all this money, he said. They always brag about the rewards. Taken up by the president of this company, number 2. He's going to be number 2, flown up to Boston to meet him and cut us from the documentary. Now I find out that some of the players, some of the people in Q have been there's a total division now, where the others were infiltrated by the FBI, and part of that, it's unbelievable what they've done. Sound like the playbook? And
It
so
sounds
now
like a playbook.
what happened was the one guy was a researcher like yourself, and he was going to do a live stream with me just like a couple days ago. The FBI was banging on the door right before we got on the air.
Are you serious?
I'm totally serious.
Oh my God.
Banging on his door, and he couldn't do the live stream.
Oh my God. No,
Yeah.
and see, okay, so
And what's the
this is
crime? What's the crime?
yeah. No, it was funny because like we were on another space and or some friends of mine were, and they were talking about putting up these missing children posters. Well, one of the best things you could do is create awareness. So I mean, we grab missing children's posters from the NCMEC, we post them up. You know, it's occasionally we do this like once or twice every week. You know, just to bring more awareness, get more eyes on these kids. And it's random. We've totally picked them random. And you know, next thing you know, there's somebody screaming that they're going to call the FBI on us to have us arrested for doing that because we're putting the kids in danger. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, you're doxing them. It's like, I'm not doxing them. I'm getting them off a website, a public website that anybody could go to.
You're
Anybody
bringing
could go to.
awareness to their needs. You're bringing awareness to their needs.
Yeah.
And that's a crime. Yeah. See,
Well, and I could not believe the amount of pushback.
because they want to control the narrative. They want to control the story. I said it before this Sound of Freedom garbage came out, which should have been a different studios doing it and doing it right about this country. As I said, that's the main point of this country. There needs to be a Sound of Freedom about this country without Angel Studios that would sell their souls and their mother to get some money after they went bankrupt so many times. But the thing is that what you have is, I predicted the FBI and the CIA would claim they rescued a kid here or 20 kids there and make it look like they're the good guys, right? And that's what they did with Sound of Freedom. They funded Sound of Freedom.
Well,
Then they said that Disney was trying to block it. Disney held it for them. They didn't block it. They held it for them.
you know, I don't know because I mean, like I've heard all kinds of things. I don't know if Sound of Freedom's good or bad. I don't know if Angel Studios is good or bad. But I will say this, it doesn't really matter because what matters is bringing these kids home and focusing here at home.
That's why it does matter.
We have a country here. We have children missing, you know, up to, and this is a conservative estimate, up to 800,000 kids go missing here in the U.S. every year.
So
and that is conservative estimate.
You're right. That's why it matters. That's why it matters. See, Sound of Freedom's job is to make it look like it's already done and the agencies are good and the agencies wanted to help and that they rescued already 3,000 kids or something. That's not helping. That's harming. So it does matter to expose Sound of Freedom for what they're doing. So it's like, because they are trying to make it look like it's taken care of, that they're doing. And they're trying to be like celebrities in the process. If you're rescuing kids, you're not going to be posing for the camera. You're going to be out there rescuing more. You're going to be putting the word out as you did by putting those pictures up of the kids. There needs to be more done. Help these kids. That's what you'd be doing, not posing like, you know, yeah, so I did this. There's no bigger crime than those clowns. I'm sorry. They haven't done any good at all. They've done a false narrative to make it look like they took care of it. They haven't rescued anybody. Like these
Well-
other people claiming they went in the tunnels. They haven't rescued anybody. Do you not think they would put that in front of the public and say,
I
"Look, the kids"? Yeah.
I think they should start streaming them like they do that one guy that goes around and catches these gentlemen. And I say
Yes.
gentlemen very, very, very loosely because, man, I really don't think they are.
You know what you're going to see? You're going to see them heading to the bars. You'll see them heading to the brothels. You're not going to see them heading to the Save Kids. No,
Well-
it's all a sham. But anyway, I'm so sick of those guys. It's disgusting. I'm not trying to talk about it.
I think we should start filming them like that and putting them
I
up
think
on
you're right. I agree.
Twitter.
I agree.
And like filming these what's going on because
I agree.
people
I
won't
agree.
believe it.
That would go with
Otherwise-
that Madison lady. You just had a great idea with that Madison lady that hosted so nasty, when she claims that she's on an extraction. Video
Let's see.
her. Video her.
I
you know.
I don't know her, so
You
I
don't
can't
need to
really
know her. You don't want to know her. The
I
thing is
can't
that-
really comment. I do my thing. I stay in my
You
lane.
don't want to
You
know
know?
her. Don't worry. You don't want to know her. She went after me, but you don't want to know her. What's interesting is Sophia Stewart is actually claiming now, somebody sent me these clips, compilations of her. My God, what a piece of work. And she's claiming now that the FBI told her that anybody who messes with her, the FBI will take them down. Does that not sound like somebody groomed by the FBI? Bragging about the FBI? I would not claim that. I would not claim that if anybody messes with you, the FBI is going to take you down. If anybody messes with me, the FBI is going to reward you. Because the FBI is definitely corrupt. And so for her to brag about the FBI, that no one's ever threatened her, no one's ever touched her, right? Because the FBI is there to, slam them down. She's bragging. She has a thug. My sister did the same thing. My sister said, Secret Service, they'll take you down. You're going to take Tom down. They're going to take him down. They're pissed at him. She's bragging. The Secret Service is going to take her own brother down. So same thing Sophia Stewart's doing when she was bought in like Sophia Stewart. So it's all coming out. They're on the run, though. They're definitely on the run. We just found out that Linda Burrows, that's the attorney for Warner Bros. That threw our case, who was classmates with the attorney Planet Rankin, who threw our case, with Kate Chilton, who was the main person that was at my deposition along with Linda Burrows, are now all on the run. Kate Chilton resigned when she's supposed to be in office till 2029, and Linda Burrow just made all her accounts private. So it's like they're afraid, they're running because we said we're going to go to court. We're going to take them to court now. We're going to get the right people and go to court and bring it out with a visual court. We've already announced that Elon Musk and these others that took our work will be 7-hour depositions, and we're going to video and broadcast it and put it to the world. Now, it sounds impossible, doesn't it? Because our system's corrupt. But that's our right as U.S. citizens to do that. It's our right to take 7 hours of deposition after we file and view it for the public.
Yeah.
They don't want that to happen. They don't want our rights exercised. But when it happens, when you get the right attorney with what the evidence we have and everything we have, which Sophia Stewart says is a forgery, like we said, with everything we have, including Tom Hanks on the very copyright entry saying commissioned by Warner Brothers and HBO to write The Immortals, I think we're in good shape for a strong case. And we can help the kids this way. Child trafficking is in our piece. It's in there. So we got them on the run when they start resigning like that immediately, they got a problem. Why did Kate Chilton resign? This top person at Warner Brothers who went to Netflix to launder material there after the case was thrown. She resigned because the Kate Chilton Sophia Stewart letter was revealed. Where it was revealed, where she had a payoff letter to Sophia Stewart, and Sophia Stewart was dumb enough to post it. So Kate Chilton just resigned immediately as soon as that was posted.
Joe, are you watching the time?
Yeah, so I wanted to let it go. So when it cut off like that, it seems to have started a new meeting, but I don't know if it deleted the first like 35 minutes.
That's what I was thinking. I was wondering if they were going to cut that out because they didn't want it
Oh
set.
my gosh.
Yeah.
So they missed that whole part where like we're talking, oh my God.
Yeah.
They just cut it. Look how they did. Just cut it like that. Whether they actually succeeded in cutting or not, that was the intention.
Yeah, so I'm gonna dig in Zoom and see if I can find the recording somewhere, or see if I can find it because after it gets done with the meeting, then it has to transfer and get set up so it can be saved on my computer. And
well, here's the situation then. Let's